what I'd like to go into today is the breakdowns on Genesis. We have a lot of preachers and pastors and churches that claim to know the breakdowns of the Bible, but they do not understand the breakdowns of this Bible. So we're going to go into the breakdowns of this book. We're going to start from the very first book in the Bible, the book of Genesis. So we're going to break it down for you. Genesis, the first chapter and the first verse. And I have the brother Rob Karab, you read the first verse.
In the beginning.
And we're going to read it verbatim so we can break it down.
In the beginning, the power created.
So read it verbatim.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Stop right there. Now this first verse, not too many people know how to break this down. The first verse states this: in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. This is the beginning of the creation of the so-called, as we know it, universe. The earth, the moon, the stars, the planets, and so forth. But now, what people go off on is this: in the beginning, God. The word God is not talking about the supreme Heavenly Father. Because when you go into the Hebrew, and we're going to have a man read it in the Hebrew. Matter of fact, I will read it in the Hebrew. This is Genesis, the first chapter and the first verse. And we're going, by the way, this is known as the Torah. The word Torah means law. And the law is contained in this book. And the Tanakh, the books of the prophets, and the book of the law. The first 5 books of Moses is known as the Torah. This is in the Hebrew. Now, what I would like to do is go to Genesis, the first chapter and the first verse. And I would like the cameraman to try to get a close-up of the first page of this book, right here. This is Genesis. In Hebrew it's called Bara'af. Let's try to get as close as we can. Get an extreme close-up so they can see the letters. And by the way, this is known as the Assyrian form of Hebrew. You have these so-called phony white Jews that claim to be Jews. They read according to the so-called Assyrian Hebrew. The Assyrian Hebrew came about during the time of Ezra, during the time of the Babylonian Empire, coming out of the Babylonian Empire, when the Persians and the Medes took over the Babylonians. And we had rewrote the scrolls in the Assyrian form, which is the Hebrew, the Assyrian form of Hebrew. Assyrian writing, rather. The original scrolls is written in the ancient Hebrew. Now, I would like to read from this first chapter and the first verse. And this is what it says. It says, Bara'ash Yah. The word Bara'ash Yah means in the beginning, in the headings. Bara'ah, that word is created or creation. Alahayim. Now, read the first verse in the first chapter of Genesis in the Bible again. Verbatim.
In the beginning, God created.
Now, see, God created. Over here it says, the third word is Alahayim. Alahayim. The word Allah is a Hebrew word which simply means power. The angels are known as the powers. They're the powers of the universe. The Most High is the power of the universe. Ha means the. Yum is plural. Let me show you this one. I have this blackboard right here. Heavy, big blackboard. When you read it in the Hebrew, the word there that we read in the Bible, in the Torah, was Allah, which means power, Ha, the, and Yum represent plural. And the way we read it in the Hebrew was going from what? From right to left. Okay? So that's the word there. So you look up the word God, and you see the word God in the Bible. The word God in the Bible is not the name of the Most High or the Supreme Being or the Heavenly Father. This wasn't talking about the Most High. It was talking about the angels and Christ. To prove that, I would like the brother at the end to give me the book of John, the first chapter and the first verse. And it's going to state the same thing. So the word there is Elohim. The word Elohim simply means powers, plural. Angels, plural. Read that, brother.
John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word.
What beginning? That's going back to the very beginning of the book of Genesis. In the beginning. The beginning of what? The universe. In the beginning was the Word. Who is the Word? Christ is the Word. When you read down to around the 14th verse or thereabouts, it tells you that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. So who's the Word? The Word is Christ, who you know as Christ. In the beginning was the Word, so Christ was back there from the very beginning. He was one of the chief angels and also the Son of the Most High. Go ahead.
And the Word was with God.
And the Word was with God. The word there in the Hebrew, when you read it in the Hebrew in 1 John, the first chapter, the word there says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, the powers, the angelic forces. Go ahead.
And the Word was God.
And the Word, now right there in the Hebrew, the word is, and the Word was a power. And the word, wa, the ba, and the word, Allah, power. And the Word was a power, a angel.